آج کے سیشن کا آغاز تلاوت کلام پاک سے کرتے ہیں۔ اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم، بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم، قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعلیہ توکلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين قل أرأيتم إن أصبح ماؤكم غورا فمن يأتيكم بماء معين۔ ترجمہ: تم فرماؤ وہی رحمان ہے، ہم اس پر ایمان لائے اور ہم نے اسی پر بھروسہ کیا تو تم جلد جان جاؤ گے کہ کون کلی گمراہی میں ہے۔ تم فرماؤ بھلا دیکھو تو اگر صبح کو تمہارا پانی زمین میں دنس جائے تو وہ کون ہے جو تمہیں نگاہوں کے سامنے بہتا ہوا پانی لا دے۔ صدق اللہ العظیم۔ آج کل سیشن کا جو مین ٹاپک ہے وہ ہے پروڈکٹ ڈیولپمنٹ، اور ہمارے پاس جو معزز مہمان اور ایکسپرٹ رہنے سیشن کے لیے وہ ریسپیکٹڈ خالد احمد ہے۔ Mr. Khalid Ahmed is a data and AI practitioner. He is also advisory board member of AI Center of Excellence at Capital University of Technology, Maryland. He is also a founding member of Aspire Pakistan. Respected Khalid Ahmed Saab, over to you.
تھینک یو سر، ماشاء اللہ اچھی تلاوت آپ نے کی، بڑی اچھی قرات ہے آپ کی، جزاک اللہ۔ السلام علیکم اینڈ ہیلو ایوری ون۔ میں یہاں پر آپ سب لوگوں کو دیکھ کے بہت خوش ہو رہا ہوں، تقریباً 50 پارٹیسپینٹس جنہوں نے جوائن کیا ہے۔ آئی ایم ویری ہیپی ٹو سی آل آف دیم۔ تو آپ یہاں پر پروڈکٹ مینجمنٹ سیکھنے کے لیے تیار ہیں۔ آج ہم ایسے میدان میں قدم رکھیں گے جس کا مقصد جو ہے وہ پروڈکٹ بنانا ہے۔ پروڈکٹ مینجمنٹ جو ہے وہ ایک انٹرسٹنگ جس ہم کہتے ہیں فیلڈ ہے، جس میں بزنس ہے، جس کو ہم کہتے ہیں کہ ایک مینجمنٹ ہے اور اسٹریٹجی ہے، اس کو ملایا جاتا ہے۔ آپ کے پاس کبھی کوئی کاروباری آئیڈیا آیا ہوگا یا کوئی ایسا پروڈکٹ بنانے کے بارے میں آپ نے سوچا ہوگا جو لوگوں کو پسند آئے، تو پروڈکٹ مینجمنٹ جو ہے پھر وہ آپ کے لیے ہے۔ آپ یہ سوچ رہے ہوں گے کہ پروڈکٹ مینجمنٹ اصل میں ہے کیا اور یہ اتنا اہم کیوں ہے۔ پروڈکٹ جو ہے جس کے بارے میں آپ کوئی بھی چیز آپ کے ارد گرد ہے جس کو کہ آپ استعمال کرتے ہیں، جس کو کہ آپ خریدتے ہیں، جس کو آپ بنانا چاہتے ہیں، جیسے کہ اگر آپ اس طریقے سے دیکھیں کہ کوئی ویب سائٹ آپ یوز کر رہے ہیں، ویب سائٹ کے علاوہ ویب واٹس ایپ ہے، آپ کے پاس فیس بک ہے، آپ کے پاس امیزون ہے جس میں آپ کوئی چیز خریدتے ہیں، یا کوئی جس کو ہم کہتے ہیں نا فوڈ ڈیلیوری اپلیکیشنس، یا کوئی ایسی اپلیکیشن جس کے ذریعے آپ آن لائن ٹکٹس لے رہے ہیں جیسے ایئر لائن کے ٹکٹس ہیں، یا کوئی بھی بکنگ سسٹمس ہیں۔ سو یہ تمام جو ہے جس کو کہ آپ کہہ سکتے ہیں یہ پروڈکٹس ہیں جن کو کہ باقاعدہ جو ہے وہ منصوبہ بندی، یا اس کو ہم کہتے ہیں نا کہ منصوبہ بندی اور اس کی ترقی کے ساتھ بہتر سے بہتر بنایا گیا ہے۔ تو پروڈکٹ مینیجرز جو ہوتے ہیں وہ اس چیز کو یقین بناتے ہیں کہ یہ پروڈکٹ جو ہے وہ جو ان کے استعمال کرنے والے لوگ ہیں وہ اس کو صحیح طریقے سے استعمال کریں، اور ان کی جو مسائل ہیں یا ان کی جو جس کے لیے وہ پروڈکٹ بنایا گیا ہے وہ اس کو فلفل کر سکیں، اور وہ جو ہے جس کو ہم کہتے ہیں کہ مارکیٹ ڈیمانڈ کو میٹ کر سکیں۔ پروڈکٹ مینجمنٹ سیکھ کر آپ یہ سیکھتے ہیں کہ ایک سادہ سمپل آئیڈیا کو آپ ایک کیسے جو ہے وہ امپورٹنٹ پروڈکٹ میں کنورٹ کر دیتے ہیں، اور شاید ایک دن ایسا آ گیا کہ آپ ایک کار جس کو ہم کہتے ہیں نا کہ آپ ایک سکسیسفل پروڈکٹ کو لانچ کر سکیں۔ تو اس کے اندر جو ہے واٹ وی گونا بی کورنگ اٹ ہیئر، تو جو کورس آبجیکٹو ہے ہمارا तो हम उसके अंदर सबसे पहले जो है थ्री, मतलब ये कि हम इसको कहते हैं कि देयर आर थ्री ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ दिस प्रोजेक्ट कोर्स ऑब्जेक्टिव। पहले जो है हम जिसको कहेंगे कि इंट्रोडक्शन टू प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट। हम स्टार्ट करेंगे बिल्कुल बेसिक से कि व्हाट इज द प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट एंड व्हाई इज दैट इम्पोर्टेंट। We'll look at the role of a product manager and why they are crucial to the success of any product. This will help you understand the big picture. अच्छा, मैं बीच में इंग्लिश उर्दू दोनों में ट्रांजिशन करूंगा। मेरा ख्याल है कि आई होप एवरीवन विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट। विल दैट बी ओके इज़ार?
एग्जैक्टली सर, यू कैन।
या, ठीक है। तो नेक्स्ट जो कोर्स का ऑब्जेक्टिव है, फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट, that we will cover the core skills and areas product managers focus on, like understanding customer needs, creating a vision, and working with teams. Product managers need to know a bit about business, a bit about technology, and a bit about design. We'll explore how these areas come together to build great products. And the third and the final core objective जो है उसका है कि core stages of the product life cycle. We'll look at the different stages of product's journey, from the first idea to growth, and even when it starts to fade. Knowing these stages will help you understand the full process of bringing a product to life and keeping it relevant in a changing market. मुझे उम्मीद है by end of this course आपको एक बेहतर अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी to create and manage a successful product. Whether you want to create a new app, launch a service, or improve an existing product, you'll have the tools to get started and make your ideas a reality. So let's dive into the world of product manager together and start building the skills you need to turn ideas into products that people are going to love. एंड फाइनली अगर आप देखेंगे तो मैं इसमें केस स्टडी मैंने डाला है जो कि आपको एक्चुअल जो है बताया गया कि प्रोडक्ट कैसे बनाया गया है। How can not? Okay. So what are the key concepts that we will be covering in this? So there are four key concepts that we will be learning initially. What is a product? तो प्रोडक्ट जो जैसे मैंने पहले आपको बताया, a product is anything that you create to help people solve a problem or make their lives easier. इसी तरह से हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। प्रोडक्ट विजन, व्हाट इज द प्रोडक्ट विजन? प्रोडक्ट विजन क्या है? प्रोडक्ट विजन जो है जिसको कि हम कहते हैं, जिसको लॉन्ग टर्म आपकी क्या आपकी क्या सोच रहे हैं कि आपका प्रोडक्ट जो है वो क्या डिलीवर करेगा। एंड देन प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रेटेजी। स्ट्रेटेजी जो है, जो भी आपका प्रोडक्ट का विजन है उसको कैसे आप डिलीवर करेंगे। प्रोडक्ट गोल्स जो है उसको हम समझेंगे कि व्हाट इज द प्रोडक्ट गोल्स इज, कि उसको कैसे आप मेजर करेंगे, मेजरेबल क्राइटेरिया आपके पास क्या होगा, उसको कैसे अचीव करेंगे। सो दोज आर द थिंग्स दैट वी विल बी गोइंग थ्रू दिस। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द प्रोडक्ट। सो एवरीथिंग अराउंड यू इज अ प्रोडक्ट। ठीक है, जिसको कि हम कहते हैं कि थिंक अबाउट स्मार्टफोन। आपके पास जो स्मार्टफोन है वो एक प्रोडक्ट है, आपके पास कॉफी मेकर जो है वो एक प्रोडक्ट है, आपके पास लैपटॉप एक प्रोडक्ट है, आपके पास मॉनिटर एक प्रोडक्ट है, आपके पास कोई भी चीज़ आपके इर्द गिर्द है, आपके पास शर्ट है, आपके पास कार है, दीज आर ऑल प्रोडक्ट। तो अभी हम एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं। लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ ए स्मार्टफोन। द रीजन व्हाई आई टुक ए स्मार्टफोन बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, अ लॉट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स दैट इज इंक्लूडेड इन दिस स्मार्टफोन एज एग्जांपल। सो अगर आप स्मार्टफोन को देखें, थिंक अबाउट इट, लाइक इसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं जिसको कि आप प्रोडक्ट के तौर पे आप देख रहे होते हैं। तो अगर आप देखें कि इसके अंदर आपके पास सर्किट्स हैं, इसके अंदर आपके पास मेमोरी है, इसके अंदर आपके पास स्मार्टफोन का कवर है, इसके बाद स्मार्टफोन जो है जिसके अंदर आप डेटा सेव करते हैं। जब डेटा आप सेव करते हैं तो डेटा जो है क्लाउड में आप सेव कर रहे होते हैं। तो उसके बाद आप समझे कि स्मार्टफोन जब है तो मुख्तलिफ तरह के स्मार्टफोन है, जिसको कि आप जानते हैं एंड्रॉयड बेस्ड स्मार्टफोन है, आईओएस बेस्ड स्मार्टफोन है, विंडोज बेस्ड स्मार्टफोन है। तो ये जो तमाम चीजें हैं, दीज आर ऑल इंडिविजुअल प्रोडक्ट्स। आप इनको कंबाइन करके भी स्मार्टफोन कह रहे हैं, लेकिन अगर आप ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को कहें तो वो भी एक प्रोडक्ट्स है कि iOS जो है उसको प्रोडक्ट के तौर पे देख सकते हैं, एंड्रॉयड को आप प्रोडक्ट के तौर पे देख सकते हैं। इसी तरह से आप मेमोरी कार्ड जो आप स्मार्टफोन के अंदर लगा रहे हैं उसको भी आप प्रोडक्ट के तौर पे सोच सकते हैं। तो एवरीथिंग इज प्रोडक्ट within the smartphone, and overall these are part of the product. This can be sold as a separate as a product, or this can be combined together to make a product as well. So in a nutshell, अच्छा सॉरी, बिफोर आई कंक्लूड दिस एज अ प्रोडक्ट, तो सर्विसेज जो है उसको भी हम प्रोडक्ट कहते हैं कि सर्विसेज भी आप प्रोवाइड करते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल आप कि सर्विसेज क्या होती हैं, आप क्लाउड के अंदर अगर आपके पास माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एजूर है, माइक्रो गूगल क्लाउड है, अगर कोई चीज, कोई ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर जो कि आपका डेटा स्मार्टफोन से इस क्लाउड के अंदर अपलोड कर लेता है, तो दैट इज बिकम अ सर्विस, एंड दैट सर्विस इज ऑल्सो कैन बी कॉल्ड एज अ प्रोडक्ट। तो वो भी आपके पास प्रोडक्ट बन सकता है। तो आप कोई ऐसी प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं जो कि कनेक्ट करता है या कोई चीज़ अपलोड करता है या कोई एक तरह की सहूलत प्रोवाइड करता है कि किसी और प्रोडक्ट के साथ उसको मिलाया जा सकता है, उसको इंटीग्रेट किया जा सकता है, इट्स ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ प्रोडक्ट। सो एनी गुड सर्विस और solution created to meet the most important thing is the customer's need or solve a problem. तो सॉल्विंग अ प्रॉब्लम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आप ऐसा कोई प्रोडक्ट नहीं बनाते हैं कि जो प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व नहीं करें। So a good product is one that people find useful and want to use it. So you don't want to develop something that is not going to be used by the customer. So you want to develop something that's going to be used by the customers. You also want the product that is going to be, the people are going to be liking that product, that are scalable. Scalable means कि उसको आप बढ़ा सकते हैं, and that product can be also can integrate with other things and also meet some of the standards as well. So the standards comes with the product. For example, अगर आपको पता है कि अगर आप कोई बैंकिंग का सिस्टम बना रहे हैं, तो that has to be compliance with the banking existing banking laws. अगर आप ऐसा प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं जिसमें पेमेंट इन्वॉल्व है, तो वो जो पेमेंट है तो इसका मतलब होता है कि इट हैज टू बी ए पीसीआई कंप्लायंस। तो और कोई ऐसा प्रोडक्ट है जो कि हर प्रोडक्ट्स के साथ कुछ ना कुछ रेगुलेशंस जो है दैट हैज टू बी कंप्लाई विद दैट। सो इट मींस द प्रोडक्ट कैन ऑन द कंप्लायंस एंड द उसको मीट करने के लिए भी अगर आप कोई सिस्टम बना रहे हैं या कोई सोल्यूशन बना रहे हो तो उसको भी आप प्रोडक्ट कर सकते हैं। नाउ वी गोना टॉक अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट विजन। द नेक्स्ट, व्हाट इज द प्रोडक्ट विजन? सो प्रोडक्ट विजन क्या होता है? शुरू में मैंने बताया कि प्रोडक्ट विजन जो है दैट्स अ बिग ड्रीम, एज अ बिग आइडिया you have for your product. It's about what you want your product to become in the future. It's a मतलब इसके अंदर जो emphasize है वो what part है कि actually what you actually want your product to become in the future and how it will make a positive difference. Think of a product vision as your north star. North star आपको पता है ना, जो स्टार होता है जब आप अंधेरे में या रेगिस्तानों में जा रहे होते हैं तो एक आपने देखा होगा जो पहले जो ट्रैवलर्स होते थे वो उसको देख के अपनी सिम्प देख सकते थे कि विच डायरेक्शन दे नीड टू गो। तो दैट इज द नॉर्थ स्टार। तो थिंक अबाउट अ प्रोडक्ट विजन एज अ नॉर्थ स्टार। इट्स समथिंग यू वर्क टुवर्ड एंड कीप्स यू फोकस्ड। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक एग्जाम्पल ये ले लें कि इफ योर प्रोडक्ट इज अ लर्निंग ऐप एंड व्हाट वुड बी योर प्रोडक्ट विजन वुड बी। जैसा सोचे कि आपका प्रोडक्ट विजन क्या होगा। तो एक एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं कि हम टू मेक लर्निंग इजी एंड फन फॉर एवरीवन। बड़ा सिंपल सा है, ठीक है, to make a learning easy and fun for everyone. So that's the product vision. Very simple, very straightforward. It's just like what you want your product to be. That's what you're thinking. This vision is going to guide every decisions that you are going to make about your product. So हम कहते हैं ना कि एक strong product vision that is going to inspire your team and helps everyone understand why the product matters. When everyone understands the vision, it's easier to work together to bring that visions to life. Next, we're going to talk about, sorry, before we talk about the product strategy, let's look at the example of the product vision. Can you mute Isar? Okay, so these are some example vision statement. So from the Google, अगर आप देखें एक लाइनर गूगल क्या कहता है, गूगल का विजन ही कहता है कि to provide access to the world's information in one click. Very simple, very straightforward. गूगल अपने विजन के बारे में कहता है. Amazon के बारे में आप सब लोग जानते हैं, तो क्या कहता है कि to be Earth's most customer centric company, to build a place where people can come to find and discover anything. Microsoft, to help people and business throughout the world realize the full potential. So these are some of the vision statements that the big companies have it. So if you look at those kind of a vision, so I also put together the AI vision as well. So the AI vision, the AI you can consider as an overall AI. What is the overall AI vision? इसके बाद अगर आप इस तरह भी सोच सकते हैं कि कोई आप ऐसा प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं जो कि AI ड्रिवन या AI बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी से बनाया हुआ है, या कोई AI रिलेटेड सर्विसेज आपको दे रहा होता तो उसका जो विजन स्टेटमेंट होगा दैट इज गोना बी अनदर डिफरेंट. बट अगर लुक एट दिस वन, AI विजन is just the vision for the AI. So we'll move on to the next, and so the product strategy. So product vision जैसे आपने आपको बताया कि what is focused mostly on the what part of it. The product strategy is the plan for how you will turn your product vision into a reality. It's about understanding who your customers are, what they need, and how you will make your product different from others. So the product strategy answers questions like, who are we building this for? What features will make our product special? How will we make money? Very important है कि आपका पैसा बनाने का आपका यकीनन मकसद है. If your product is a food delivery app, that we will take an example as a case study, what will be your strategy, and what strategy your strategy might be focusing? So your strategy might be focusing on fast delivery in small cities where people don't have many delivery options. So strategy is your game plan for winning in the market. So remember, a good product strategy helps you focus on what is important and make smart choices. It keeps you on track so you don't waste time or money on things that don't help achieve your product vision. And the final topic, concept topic, is the product goals. So what is the product goal? So product goals are the steps you need to take to bring your product strategy to life. These are smaller, clear targets that help you measure your progress. Goals are usually set for a short period, maybe 3 months or a year, and help keep the team on track. So for example, if your product strategy is to make a fitness app popular among young people, what will be a product goal could be? So simple, it should be like, normally if you ask any of you guys as a young entrepreneur, what do you want? So you want to onboard users. So you can say, I want to onboard 1,000 users in the first month. That's target is not achievable. So you start with the minimum. You can say that the first month I want 100 users to be on board. Another goal could be add a feature that tracks calories by the end of the month. How are you going to be tracking calories by the end of the month? So goals are very specific and they give you something to aim for in the short term. When you reach these goals, you know you are moving closer to your product vision. Goals keep everyone motivated and make it easier to measure success. So in conclusion, what are we looking at? We understood what is the product. So we understood the product is something you create to solve a problem for people. We understood the product vision. What is the product vision? So it's a big dream, what you want your product to become. What is the product strategy? Is your plan for how to make that vision a reality. What is product goals? So product goals are the smaller steps that help you achieve your strategy and reach your vision. Is everyone is okay with the speed I am going, or do you guys you think it's very fast?
Sir, I think it's fine.
Okay, good. So I'll move on to the next topic. That is introduction to the product management. So what is the product management is? So we're going to talk, if you have a new idea for a product, or even if you already have a product, so you need a plan to make sure it will work. So product management is all about making that plan and following it step by step. So in this session, we'll go through three important things about product management. So the objective is by the end, you will know what product management is, what it covers, and the key responsibilities of a product manager. So what is product management? So let's start with the basic question. Is the guiding a product from an idea to the market? So what is the like? It's a guiding process uh, from idea to market. This means that taking a product from the first thought in your mind to the hands of the customer. So it's not just about creating something and selling it. Product management, it makes sure the product meets both customer needs and business needs. So you have to think about it, what customer really want and what is the need for the customer? What will make the business successful? How can you make profits and growth? So imagine you have an idea for a new app to help student learn. So product management would involve researching what students need, planning how the app will look and work, and then launching it in a way that benefits both the student and the business. You're looking at both, not just the customers, you are also looking at the businesses as well. So its student is going to be your your customers, and then also how are you meeting the business need is also very important. If it does not meet the students' demand, your product is not going to be as successful. So that's what we are going to be learning through this process. So the next topic is, what does product management cover? So as I talked about the business, and then you see as the UX, the user experience, and the third part is the technology. So now we know that this is what is the business. So that this is making sure the product is profitable and helps and company grows. You have to think about how to price your product, how to sell it, and how it can compete with other products. So you're not alone. So you know there you will have a competitors. Even though when you start your own product, there will be not no any competitor at that time. But as you grow, you will start seeing the competitors. You still have to be, you have a competitive edge over your competitors in order to be like keeping in the market. You have to be up of the market, but technically you have to be in the market. So as a good product manager, you have to know the market and understand what makes a product successful for the business. The other part is the user experience. How the user, how the user or the customer's journey is important for your product. How easy is to use? Does it solve a problem for the customer? A product manager thinks like the customers to make sure the product is useful, easy, and enjoyable to use. And the third part is the technology. So since I'm coming from a technology background, then the examples and the tools I will be presenting to you is related to the IT and technology. So this area actually covers the tools and system needed to make the product work. For example, for the digital product, this could include that you have to write a code, you have to develop a software, you are going to use the data. But for the physical product, it could involve engineering, and you have to involve the design. You have to use some kind of a labor to actually build that product. So a product manager does not need to be an expert in all of these, but the product manager should understand or should have enough knowledge to work well with technology team. So if you look at this diagram, there is a central part, and it shows that where everything get glued together is where you see the dot, and it is pointing to the dot is the product management. So that dot, it means it's a bridge connecting both, like all of these, your user experience, the technology, and the business. So a good product manager needs to balance all these three areas. So what are the key responsibilities of the product management? So there are three key responsibilities that I have highlighted. One is the main is the understanding the customer needs. So a product manager talks to customers, researches the market, and gathers feedback. So this helps them understand what customers truly need and want. For example, if you're creating a food delivery app, you need to know if customers want fast delivery, or they want low prices, or they have very specific meal or the food needs that you can fulfill. So the other part, the responsibility, is that defining the product vision, as I talked about it. This is about setting the direction for the product. Is a big picture, what the product will be, and how the product is going to be achieve the objective. Is so you can drive the team, you can making sure your team understand and they are focused. So an eco-friendly water bottle might be, so आप जैसे कहते हैं ना कि product vision है to make hydration easy, sustainable, and affordable for everyone. So I've given you a few vision examples that you can use it. So that's the key responsibility of the product manager, to define the product vision. And the third part is the aligning teams towards the goal. So if you have a vision, you have understand the customer needs, and then you define the product strategy. So product strategy is another topic that we will be covering, and then that is going to be used, and that is going to be aligning your teams to make sure that you meet the overall goals, like marketing, like design, like engineering, to make sure everyone within your team is working towards the same goals. So that is very important. And a good product manager is really keeping everyone on the same page so the product is built quickly and correctly. So the role of a product manager. So those are the core responsibilities, and those are some of the core skill set that is going to be required for the product management role. So you can look at the setting the product strategy, prioritizing features and enhancement, managing cross-functional things. We already talked about the product managers. One of the key responsibilities is to manage and the cross-functional teams. And then core skill is the communication, decision making, and then strategic thinking. So I'm not going to be spending more time. You can learn about this from any of the books. What are the tools and methodologies that we use for the product management? So there are a lot of buzzwords you might have heard. So the one of the thing is we call it agile. What is the agile? Agile is nothing. It's a way of working that helps teams build product step by step instead of all at once. For example, if you're thinking of a product, so instead of you have to think completely, is there a way that you can develop the product or think about the product iteratively? It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be a good enough that you can validate it. So is that the mindset? The agile mindset is you don't wait until the entire product is perfect before showing it to customers. So we will learn about the minimum viable product as well. That is the MVP. So MVP is a small part that is developed as your product, that you're going to showing this to a customer, you are getting a feedback and then improve it over the period of time. So when I say, just like you might be learn another methodologies and you are aware of it, we call this a waterfall. उसमें आपको बताते हैं कि रिक्वायरमेंट क्या होती है, then you go through and then you plan it and then you design it, then you develop it, then you test it, and then it's go through the complete cycle. So that's a waterfall. It goes through from top to the bottom. But agile is different. You go on iteratively. You go through in a cycle, in a quick cycle. So we will learn about this, like a little bit about agile as well. What is a scrum? So a scrum is another, like it's an agile methodology. Uh, it's a you can call it, it's it's an agile way or agile framework that divided into short periods. It's called the scrum, a sprint, sorry. Each sprint usually lasts for 2 weeks, but not necessarily that it has to be 2 weeks. It can be a month as well. It can be a week as well, depending about the nature of your work or the nature of the product that you are building. So mostly the sprint is for 2 weeks. So at the end of each sprint, the team shows what they have built so far. They get the feedback and then plans the next sprint. So there are also some key roles in a Scrum. So there's another terminology that you will find out and you will know about is the product owner. So what is the product owner? Product owner in the Scrum, it sets the goals for the product and decide what features are most important. So the product manager is going to be defining the list of the features, and then product owner is going to make the decision for the team and making sure that this feature is most important that we'll be developing first. So the product owner can assign this to a specific sprint. What is the Scrum Master? The Scrum Master is another terminology that comes with the Scrum team. It's really a master who keeps together and making sure the team is on track, just like a project manager. Project manager manages the team. Is the it it really making sure the team is doing what they need to do within the scope and within the time and within the budget. But in the Scrum Master, it's the same thing, making sure the team is doing the work within the sprint that has been defined, but it's very quick and very turnaround time. But it doesn't need to be a perfect, and that is very important and the key concept in the agile world. And the third part is the minimum viable product. As I mentioned, it's the MVP is a very simple version of your product that has only the most important features that you let and test your idea without spending too much time or the money. So if your MVP becomes successful, then you move forward. And if it does not become successful, you go back and try to make sure your MVP is correct and it's actually allowing is actually adding the value to your customers. So what is the MVP and why the MVP is very important? It allows you to test your idea with real customers quickly. It helps you learn what features are most valuable. It reduces the risk of spending too much time or money on a product that people might not want. Take an example, like for example, if you are developing an AI related product and the the speed and the AI technology is changing, it's so rapidly. Do you think if you start developing a product and that product is going to take 2 years, you're going to come up with a product that is going to solve the problem? By the time there might be something, the AI, the foundational uh, framework is going to be automatically doing that automatically. Just like we have the GPT-4, which is already providing most of the information that you needed. So if you are thinking about developing something that is going to take a year, it's you're gonna miss the boat. So you think about it. How can I come up with a minimum viable product to making sure my proof of concept is successful? And then once it's successful, then you can move forward and then start developing the complete product. So we're gonna so we covered this in this section. Uh, what did we cover? We covered about the product management. We also understood the key responsibilities of the product manager. We also understand some of the tools that has been used in the product management. Uh, we we talk about the tools and methodologies, the agile. We talked about the Scrum. We also talk about the minimum viable product as an MVP. So we'll move on to the next section, and that is the case study for a food delivery app. So basically, what I've developed this as a case study for you to understand the concept. So you think about it, you are launching a product for a food delivery app in a new city. Just like for me, मैं एक शहर में रहता हूँ, छोटा सा शहर है, इसका नाम है मिल्टन. हमारे पास फूड डिलीवरी ऐप ऑलरेडी है. So what do you need to think about it? What would your MVP is gonna look like? How would you validate the demand? Which agile principles could help you launch quickly and adopt to the feedback? I would like to give you a few minutes, think about it, and then we'll discuss the ideas. So just think, like आप इस बारे में सोचो कि आपका फोकस क्या है. You are just solving a specific customer problem, and you're keeping your product as lean as possible in the beginning. Then we're going to talk about the product life cycle management. That's the next topic. So let's think about it, the case study for the food delivery app. So this is the vision that I'm thinking as a food delivery app. And I put together a vision statement as well that the food delivery app is going to look like. So it's just like a simple app. अगर आप अपने हिसाब से सोच रहे होगे फूड डिलीवरी ऐप, मुझे नहीं पता कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर उबर ईट्स वगैरह है या नहीं है, लेकिन यहाँ उबर ईट्स जो है वो पॉपुलर है. यहाँ पर दूरदाश के नाम से एक और कंपटीटर है जो कि फूड डिलीवरी कर रहे होते हैं. और भी दो तीन है. तो just like thinking about it, why I'm coming up and thinking about food delivery app for my city. So the idea is, so let's take the product idea, like what is my vision, what I'm thinking about the food delivery app. So I'm thinking about a food delivery app to make healthy, locally sourced meals easily accessible to everyone in the city. So simple, हर food delivery जो भी app है उसका vision very similar है. So why my food delivery app is going to be like a unique product in the city. So what will be my product strategy? So you guys will learn about the product strategy. So taking this example about, so what is the food delivery app strategy is going to look like? So it's going to focus on health conscious users by partnering with organic restaurants, offering eco-friendly delivery options, and launching a loyalty program that rewards sustainable choices. So why the health conscious is very important. Why people are, you guys know, कीटो डाइट के बारे में आपने सुना होगा. आपने सुना होगा कि बहुत सारे बूढ़े हैं जो कि उनको वेरी स्पेसिफिक डाइट नीड्स होती हैं. स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, उनकी डाइट नीड्स है. फिर क्योंकि हम सब लोग एक ऐसे माशरे में रहते हैं नॉर्थ अमेरिका में या वेस्ट साइड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, वेरी कॉन्शियस अबाउट द इन्वायरमेंट. सो व्हाट इज द eco friendly delivery options है, and how you're going to be motivating your customers, how you want your customers to be loyal customers, and they are coming back and how can you retain your customers. So you are planning to launch a loyalty program that is going to be rewarding them. What is the product goals for the food delivery app? So just this is very hypothetical number. You don't take this as the exact number. This is just a hypothetical number. So we're trying to reach 10,000 active users within the first 6 months. So that's our first goal. Achieve a 4.5 star rating, average rating across the app stores. So app stores के अंदर अगर आपको 4.5 का average rating मिल जाती है within 6 months, that is a good target that you have achieved it. You wanted to partner with the 50 local restaurants focused on organic meals by the end of this first year. So you basically trying to, as part of this product, you wanted to make the partnership with the 50 local. So this is something that I'm setting up as a product, as a young entrepreneur to launch a product. So I already put together a vision statement. I already put together a product strategy. I'm also putting together a product goals as well. Then we're going to walk you through the process. How can we come up with a, and how this all fits into the overall product life cycle. So that's going to be our next topic, that we will be talking about the product life cycle management. So this is something that I will be spending like quite a bit of time to understand and making sure that you guys understand. So the product life cycle includes the idea generation. That is the first stage. And the second stage is the validation and research. And the third stage is the development and the launch and growth and scaling. And finally, maturity and decline. So these are the some of the core product life cycle core concept. Some people have a different mindset, they have a different ways, and they have a different idea. uh, so you just, this is for me that what I think is more important as a core concept within the product life cycle that you need to be understanding. So I'll start with the first stage is the idea generation. This is where every product begins as an idea. It's when you think of a new product or a way to improve an existing product. This could be based on a problem that you see on a day-to-day basis, a trend in the market, or something that would make people's life easier. So you're trying to looking at the people and their problem and trying to improve their life. For example, let's say you notice that many people in a city are looking for healthy, eco-friendly food options. Just thinking about a food delivery app that we talked about it. You come up with the idea for a food delivery app that partners with organic restaurants, offers eco-friendly delivery option, and has a loyalty program to reward sustainable choices. So this is in this stage, what are you looking? You're coming up with a strong idea that could be turned into a real product. So that is the end goal, that you want to turn your idea into a real product. How are you going to be validating, and what are you going to be doing in order to validate and making sure that your product become a successful, your idea is validated, your idea is something that people need it and they want it. So you do this by talking to potential customers, researching your competition, and finding out if people would pay for your product. For our food delivery app, the example that I've given, you could survey health conscious people in the city, ask them about their current food delivery habits, and see if they would be interested in an app that focuses on organic and eco-friendly options. You could also look at other delivery apps to see what features they have and how could you be different than those competitors. The goal is to make sure your idea is worth building. This stage helps you avoid wasting time on a product that people might not use. So it's very important to think about it. So before you move forward, you wanted to making sure you validated your idea by doing a research and by doing a survey. So we're going to go through each step and finding the tools and techniques to do that. And the third stage is the development. This is where you actually build the product. The development can take a long time, depending on how complex your product is. For an app like this that we're talking about, the food delivery app, you would work with the developers to build a platform that allows users to view organic restaurant options. The users can place orders and track eco-friendly deliveries. You would also set up the loyalty program to reward sustainable choices. So in this stage, you will need to test the app to making sure it works well and offers a good user experience. So we talked about the MVP. So you can use during this development as an MVP to validate and making sure that you can get the early feedback from your customers. And the fourth stage in the product life cycle is the launch. This is when you officially introduce your product to the public. Launching your products can be very exciting, but it also requires planning. You will need to think about how to reach your customers, what price to set, and how to get people interested. So take an example of our food delivery app. You might launch with a special promotion like a discount on the first order or extra rewards for early adopters. You can you can use social media, you can use the ads, you can partnership with the organic restaurant to attract your target customer. The goal of the launch stage is to make people aware of your product and to start getting your first customers. So that is very important for you to understand. And the next stage is the growth and scaling. That is the fifth stage. Once you have your customers, your goal is to get more of them. This is the time that you are thinking about how can I improve the product and add new features and may be expand to more areas or the city or partner with more organic restaurant. So you basically at this stage you focus on the feedback that you receive from the customer to making sure the app that you have built it meets their needs. If customer wants more vegan options or halal options or they want a fast delivery, you can work to make this improvement. The goal of growth and scaling is to make your product more popular and grow your customer base. And the final and most important stage in the product life cycle is the maturity and decline. So this is very important, and I think most of the people they don't understand it. Your every product has end life. Your product has to reach its peaks. Most people you want to have is already signed up, or growth starts to slow down. So in the decline stage, you may see fewer customers, or new apps might replace yours. Yes, as you know, the AI is coming up with the new tools and new technology and making things very easier and faster. So whatever your current product is, that's gonna die. It's gonna end of will have end of life. So how you gonna make sure your product stays in the market? Your product still fulfill the customer need. Your product is still meeting the demand. Your product is still competitive. Your product is not outdated. So that is the mindset in this stage that you need to be thinking about. If your product stays to a peak, what should be you be doing it? How are you going to keeping it alive? Or you have to think about how can I phase this out? How can I phase out this product? So what we learned about these things is the complete product life cycle. Now I'm going to go through with some of the details of the product life cycle management. So we talked about the first stage of the product life cycle as the idea generation. So that is the creating value through the innovation. And the what is the objective? So it's really identifying the real world pain point. It's generating the multiple solution and it's fostering the innovation. In this stage, what you wanted to create something that people actually want and they are ready to pay for that. So what are the tools and techniques that you use for the idea generation? So there is a mind mapping software like Miro, Mind Maester for the brainstorming session. Customer journey mapping is the tool that you use to understand the customer pain points. So you might have studied the SWOT analysis, where you analyze the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And finally, uh, trends trend analysis. So you wanted to do a market research. So you wanted to get the reports or the tools like a Google Trend in order to making sure the ideas that you are coming up is a new idea and is going to meet the customer need. How are you going to validation and research, testing your assumption? So what is the key objective? Is the refining the idea, understanding the customer preferences, and avoiding investing in ideas without a demand. So you don't want to work on an idea which is not is going to be used by the customer. So what are the tools and techniques that you use it? So one of the tools is the survey platform. You might have heard of Survey Monkey. You know about the Google form. There are some other tools, Microsoft Forms as well. So to gauge the interest, and then the other things that you're going to use as a tool is the interviewing. So you pick up your prospective customer and then you conduct in-depth interviews with those customers and finding out and validating your ideas with them. Market analysis. So how are you going to do the market analysis? So there is a tools like SEMrush Market Insight, Statista for industry insights. And then finally, you wanted to quickly build a prototype. If you're using something that you try to build a prototype using some kind of a wireframe, you guys might have used Adobe XD. You might have used Figma or Proto.ai or the Sketch. Those are the wireframe tools that you use it to making sure that your prototype is ready and then validated with your prospective customers. The development, how are you going to be developing the product? So here in this stage, what you do is you basically translate your concept into an actual functioning product. So the key objective of this stage is to develop an MVP, design the user experience, and bringing the idea to a life through collaboration. So what are the tools and techniques that we use? So we all know the project management tools. The project management tools, if you're going on an agile framework, so we might be using agile framework in the project management. So one of the tools that is commonly used as a Jira. Microsoft came up with the DevOps. You can also use the DevOps for the project management or the Trello. Yeah, somebody told me the Trello as well. The version control systems. So you have GitHub, uh, you have other tools, GitLab for the code collaboration that you can use it and keeping your code right there. Development tool, Microsoft Visual Studio, Java Development Toolkit, mobile app development, so Android developers. Um, so there are other tools. React Native is another tool that you can use for the development if you're using and developing the mobile-based application. Testing platform. So there are some testing platform as well. So you can use all these different things, the project management, version control, development tool, testing tool, deployment tool. There are some other tools that you can use it as well. Product launch. That's also one of the key uh, uh, stages in the product life cycle where you build the awareness, you encourage initial users, and you gather feedback for the improvements. So how you do that? So the marketing automation, you have the analytics tool, you have the social media platform and customer feedback. Today's young users are mostly on a social media. So how you can attract them? How can you run ads on Facebook? How can you run ads on Instagram and X? So those are the important tools that you needed. And then at the same time, you need to making sure how are you validating? So must have the analytics tools and making sure that you are you are making sure the the information or the product launch is how successful it is going on. And then the marketing automation, you might have MailChimp for email campaign that you can use it. You can get the customer feedback using a tool called Zendesk. There must be another tool. There are a lot of tools available in the market. I just use few examples. And then growth and scaling. So once your product has been launched, it's been in the market, the next step or next stage in your product life cycles, how can you enhance the product? How can you add more features so within the product? How can you use, for example, today now we have the AI. How can you use AI in your product build in your product to making sure that you providing some kind of AI-based decisions in your product? How can you increase your user acquisition? How to improve your user retention? And then you can add some introduce premium features. What are the other tools and techniques for the growth and scaling? Customer relationship management. We have the A/B testing tools, advertising platform, and then customer retention tools as well. And then we're going to go through the maturity and decline. We talked about this one as well. So that's also very key important. And what are the tools and techniques? Cost optimization tools. So how much you're spending. So how can you cut down your cost? How can you use some of the things like uh, cloud-based services to minimize your cost? How can you find out? So you look at the future usage analytics, customer feedback collection, and competitive analysis. So those are some of the things that we're going to be doing. Now we're going to go through the case study for the food delivery app. So we initially talk about this. So this is the product strategy for the food delivery app. So we learned about the vision statement that I provided to make healthy, locally sourced meals easily accessible to everyone in the city. And the next is the what is the product goal? So we look at the product goals as well. So the third one is that what is my target market is. So the target market is the young professionals age 24 to 45 in urban areas who prioritize health, sustainability, and convenience in their food choices. And the secondary users are health conscious families looking for balanced meal option. So that's my target market that we are looking in the product strategy. What is the product differentiation? How my product is going to be different than other product? So it's basically giving you the health oriented options. It's eco-friendly delivers because we are thinking to deliver, uh, use the cycles or what do you call it, scooters to deliver the food. And also at the same time, we have to do the fast delivery. We also need to customize meal plans as well. What is the competitive analysis? So, and who are our competitors? Uber Eats, for example, we have our competitor. We have a DoorDash. We have a Grubhub. We have a local health focused delivery services. We have meal kit services, for example, HelloFresh. In Canada, we have HelloFresh. HelloFresh basically is another service that gives you, is sent you the व्हाट डू यू कॉल वो सारी चीजें आपको भेज देते हैं एक बॉक्स के अंदर। मिसाल आपको गोश्त अगर आपने बनाना कढ़ाई गोश्त बनानी है तो कढ़ाई गोश्त एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ मैं, कढ़ाई गोश्त तो यहाँ इतनी पॉपुलर नहीं है, तो वो कढ़ाई गोश्त के अंदर गोश्त आपको कितना चाहिए, कौन से मसाले चाहिए, कितने चाहिए, वो सारे एक डब्बे में बंद करके आपको देता है विद द इंस्ट्रक्शंस सो दैट यू गेट इट, you use that instructions to cook the food, you have every items in that box, you don't need anything outside except the water, even the oil is there as well if you need to cook with the oil. So everything is there, and that's the called the Hello Fresh. So that's another food delivery app. What is the technology stack that you're going to need it? Mobile app development, backend infrastructure, AI and machine learning, and then definitely you need a payment integration. When you need a payment integration, it has to be compliance as well. And that we talked about the PCI compliant. So whenever you talk about the payment integration, so it means you need to be talking to the payment service provider, and that service provider must have to be payment PCI compliant, and then you use that service in order to apply that or integrate that with your mobile app. KPIs for success. What are the KPIs that you're going to be using is to making sure that you are successful? The customer satisfaction is one of the things. Monthly active users, delivery time, revenue per user, and the retention rate. So we talk about some of the tools, how you're going to be looking at, how you're going to be making sure. So some of the tools, so we know the customer management tool, CRM is one of the tools that we use it in order to making sure who our customers are and how they have been handling it and how can we retain those customers. What is the product roadmap? So this is just an hypothetical roadmap that I've created that displays that your phased approach. The first phase, the first quarter, you're going to be launching your first MVP. You in the second phase, you're going to be expanding your partnership. You're going to be partnering with the restaurant, adding more user features like a push notification, the loyalty program. And in the third quarter, you will be implementing AI based capability. You're going to be have a personalized recommendation. You will have the route optimization. And the last and final quarter, you're going to be thinking about growth. How can you scale your product? How can you add new cities? Because your objective was you starting this food delivery app in a small city. So if you need to extend your service to another city, how can you do that? And the subscription plan. So those are the things. So this is the one-page product strategy that I've created for example applications that you might be thinking to develop. So this is not just this is just a for the sake of concept understanding that I put together in a one page. You can do on your own. You can put together everything in a different slide. You can add more stuff within the same strategy, but this is just a sample for your understanding. The other thing, some people they use it to validate their concept, to making sure their ideas uh, is validated. So they use this business model canvas. So for example, you looking at for the food delivery app. So we talk about the who are your customers, what is your customer segments are, who are your primary users, who are your secondary users, and how are you going to be actually creating values for those customer segment. And for example, for the primary users, what are you thinking about it? It's the fast and easy access to a variety of meals delivered to the doorstep. That's the value proposition that you are giving to your customer. So this business model canvas actually provide you and create a relationship and giving you something that you can think about it, and then you can create, if you were developing a business case, you can do that as well. Then you have a channels that you use it, the mobile, how you going to be like for the customers, the way you are creating the value, what channel that you're going to be using it. So mobile is one of the channels that you're going to be using it. So if you're thinking of developing a website and providing a services through a website, so you're going to use website as a channel. You're going to use social media and marketing as a channel as well. Even you can use the campaign social media for marketing targeted ads through the Facebook. So those are the things that the channels is how and what vehicle that you're going to be using for your customer segment to deliver the value. And then how you're going to be managing the customer relationship. So those are some of the things that you can use the relationship, the customer relationship, how you're going to be providing the support, how you're going to be providing the personalized marketing, how you're going to be managing the loyalty program, what will be your revenue structure. So the way I've been displaying it, it's just how the business model canvas is being built. The very revenue structure is the delivery fees that you can use it in order to get the revenue from. The commission on orders, the premium membership. You can offer premium membership. For example, that's like Amazon has a Prime membership that it delivers free. It doesn't charge for the delivery. But for a normal membership, you have to pay for the delivery charges. So that's kind of a services that you can use it as a revenue structure. So now we're going to talk about the key resources that you're going to need it in order to build this food delivery app. What are the key resources? You're going to need the technology infrastructure. You're going to need the delivery fleet. You're going to need the customer data. You're going to attract the customer as well. So those are the key resources that you're going to need it. And the next step is the key activities. What are the key activities that you're going to be doing it as part of this product? So app development and maintenance, partnership management, marketing and promotions. Those are the key activities that you need to be doing it. Who will be your key partners? So restaurant will be your key partners. Your delivery providers will be the key partners. Your pay processors will be the key partners. You have to integrate with the payment system. The other key partners will be your social media, but if you're using some of the tools that you can use that key partners as well. Cost structure, how your cost is going to be structured. So app development and maintenance cost, partnership management, and marketing and promotion. Okay, I have a few more slides that I wanted to go very quickly. I'm going to take 5-10 minutes. So this is the same product life cycle that I've used it. Now I'm going to be applying the product life cycle for the for our food delivery app. So I named that app as a Fresh Serve as a name of the application. So what is the objective? So you all thinking about the objective of the Fresh Serve is to identify gaps in the current market. That for the idea generation. Sorry. So is to identify the gaps in the current market and define what unique value the new food delivery app could bring to the customers and the restaurant. So you go through the tools and techniques that I have defined in the idea generation tools and techniques. So you use the tools and techniques, and at the end, you come up with the identified problems. So what is the problem that you have identified, and what are the opportunity that you can explore that? So the problem that you have identified is three. Many existing food delivery services have high fees, impacting both restaurants and customers. Long wait times, particularly during peak hours, lead to poor customer experiences, limited options for eco-friendly delivery or sustainable food choice. So opportunity. What is the opportunity there? A food delivery service that offers flexible, lower cost delivery options such as bicycle couriers, or community drivers, introducing a service focused on a local eco-conscious restaurant with sustainable packaging, enhance customer experience with a faster delivery in a smaller service areas. So that's the idea generation for the fresh serve. I'll move on to the quickly. The next one is the target audience and persona development. So in this section, what you define the target customer base, creating personas to guide future prioritization and app design. So thinking about who are going to be your customers. So we talk about this one, the young professionals will be your customer. Eco-conscious consumers will be your customer. Local food enthusiasts is going to be your customer. What is going to be the user needs? A convenient, easy to use app experience with fast delivery time, transparent pricing with a lower fees, option for sustainable practices and food delivery. What is the comparative analysis and market research for the food delivery app? And what is the objective for this one? To understand current players in the food delivery space and identify differentiator. What are your findings? So you use your tools to find out, and this is the outcome. So this two section is the outcome. The findings is the first outcome, and then you're defining the opportunities for differentiation. So what did you find out using those tools? You find out, oh, we have the dominant players like Uber Eats and DoorDash. They focus on a broad market with a high fees and very extensive restaurant choices. We have the local players often lack mobile app features like real-time tracking or sustainability option. So what is the opportunity here? And the opportunity here is to offer a lower fee structure for local restaurants, making it more attractive for small businesses. So you're using the technology to enhance the delivery experience, such as a real-time tracking and scheduling using the AI tool. You're highlighting the eco-friendly delivery options. You are partnering with the restaurant focus of sustainable practices. What are the key features and unique selling points? So in this section, what you develop a clear concept of the app's core features and the benefits that address identified needs and market gaps. So what are the core features that you have identified? Is the quick ordering and customization, real-time tracking, track delivery in a real time, offering transparency and reducing uncertainty, eco-friendly option, and then subscription-based discount. What is the unique selling point? Is the community focus approach. It's a flexible delivery option. Is a very user-centric design. And then how are you doing to validate the concept? By researching and customer feedback. So you use the tools, SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, or any other interviewing techniques that you use in order to do a research and then get the customer feedback. So gather preliminary validation for the concept by seeking feedback from target users and stakeholders. So what is the approach? So you use the approach. What is the sample feedback result? So this is the, at the end you come up with 80% of surveyed users are interested in a lower delivery phase. Even it means waiting longer. So this is the outcome. Okay, so that you are looking at. This is the sample feedback result that you got it after validation. And then you are start doing the actually building the product. So defining the minimum viable product, MVP, identifying the minimal set of features required to test the core value, that is the proposition of threshold. So what is the MVP scope? So the MVP scope is the basic user account creation and login. What is the success metrics that you come up with? And so look at the all the scopes that you have highlighted and what will be the success metric. So I think then we have a pre-launch reputation, and then this is the pre-launching. What are the things that you're going to need it for the pre-launching? And then there's the launch event, actual launch event. What are you going to be doing it for the food delivery app? The other thing which I wanted to show you, I have to stop this one in order to show you. So in the meantime, you guys have any questions that you have it? I just wanted to make sure that you understand the complete cycle. So, so we talk about this Scrum, and this is the timeline that you guys have saw that. So looking at the timeline, we created this as a feature list. where look at the features that you wanted to create. So the first feature is the user onboarding and account sheet setup. The second one is the discovering restaurant and food option, ordering and customization that you were thinking about it, checkout and payment feature, order tracking and delivery feature, post-order experience, eco-friendly and sustainable features, marketing and engagement, and analytics and reporting. So those are the features that you set up, and I'm using this tool as a Jira as a tool, and these are the list of the features that I want to deliver it as part of my food delivery app. And this is the timeline that you look at, this timeline that shows that it starts from March 25. This is the first quarter, and this is the last quarter of the year where I'll be able to deliver this app. So that's my timeline, and those are the features. And within the features, we have they created a user story that each user stories will be developed, tested, validated, and then promoted into production as a developer. And then you can run this is an agile way you can put together in this sprint. So if you look at the agile, so we call in agile, we talk about it in a sprint. So you use a time slot of 2 weeks, a sprint cycle, where you can develop this feature. For example, if I drop this one here, sprint one, that I want to start it in January 1, and I want a developer and a tester and a business or product owner to validate the requirement, making sure that this feature get developed, this feature get tested and validated and ready to promote into production. So I can do that, and then making sure that this gets completed within sprint 1. So that is the time box that I put together, and making sure that within this time box, I will be able to complete this user story. So this is one thing that I wanted to show you. So making sure there are different tools and there is a techniques that you use to start building your product. So the way you write the user story, you look at the user personas that we talked about. And so how you develop the user personas, and based on the user persona that you talked about, as a new user, I want to sign up using my email or social media account so that I can quickly start using the app. Very simple way that you are actually providing a sign-in feature in your product that can be developed, validated, and tested within this sprint. So that's giving one example. I will stop here, and I am ready to take questions and answer your question.
All right, sir. Respected Khalid Saab, thank you so much for your valuable presentation. It was a brief, concise, and easy to understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Allah Hafiz.